CE5, also known as Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, is a specific method whereby human beings can initiate contact with beings from advanced extraterrestrial civilizations. Even though I'm a spiritual person, I'm extremely practical. I believe in science. I believe in critical thinking. I came to the realization that there may be something involving human beings' connection with higher dimensional forces that are not associated with planet Earth. And that led me down to investigate what might those connections be. I am a practical person. If I cannot physically, personally experience something, then I don't want to waste any time talking about it. I have to prove to myself that these things exist. According to CE5 practitioners, one of the things that ETs will do to announce their presence, if they have not made themselves visibly known, even if they are in the room with you, is that they will take over your electronics. I'm really trying to acclimate myself to this process, and I'm committed to taking this as far as it can go. If that means physically meeting and seeing an extraterrestrial and going on one of their spacecraft, however far this can go physically and or psychologically and spiritually, at this stage I am committed to following it through. But I won't lie to you, my physical body and my human brain is really having a difficult time processing this. And if you've never done this before, it may sound like, what's the big deal? His radio's making noises. Why is he getting so scared? Maybe you're comfortable with, interacting with extraterrestrials. And I have nothing but respect for you if that's the case. I'm somebody that, I'm not inexperienced when it comes to spiritual paranormal phenomena. I used to be an exorcist. I've seen demons with my eyes. I've watched people's faces completely transform into demons in front of me, and that didn't frighten me. But there's something about this dynamic, and what really bakes my noodle is this idea that I can go into meditation, and even if I feel like I'm doing a really crappy job, like I'm not doing it very good, if I send myself out into outer space and look for extraterrestrial crafts or even planets, and I have this seemingly internal fantasy where I meet an extraterrestrial craft, and I communicate with it psychically and say, come back to my planet, and I, in my mind, imagine that I'm vectoring them to Earth. When the result of that meditation is a physical as well as a technological experience where things happen that aren't supposed to be physically possible, my human body flips out. Just before I did my third CE5 contact attempt, I took a rune reading. And in that reading, a prominent rune that came through was the rune Yuhwaj. Yuhwaj is the rune for dynamic transformation on a psychological level. Did you do that? Jesus coming back very soon? Or are we about to have open alien contact? I have some inside information that something huge is coming. I just had a very intense lucid dream that felt very prophetic. I look up in the sky and I see there are these clouds, and these clouds are surrounding something and they're hiding something. And I can see something in there that has kind of a silver twinge to it. And I'm like, is that a spaceship? What is that? The clouds opened up. Out of the clouds came a crucifix with half of a Jesus on it. I immediately went, oh, I've been wrong this whole time. I guess Jesus is coming back. And then sculpture of Jesus then comes alive and does this and looks up behind him like in shock and surprise. Something else was not just in the clouds, but was coming from apparently outer space. And Jesus was surprised and had no idea what it was that was coming, but it was obviously something huge. And the dream ended, and I woke up, and there was a specific feeling about him. I mean, I know what my friends feel like. They have a very specific feeling about them when they interact with me, and it had that kind of a feeling to it. And I went back to sleep, and while I was, just having some dream in my sleep, something tapped me on the head, and I turned around and nobody was there, and it was very clear. Somebody's like saying, pay attention. Something's coming. Don't go back to sleep. Pay attention. Like I said, the last time that I had a dream that felt like that, 9 months ago, and it was a dream that was, again, a very lucid dream. And the message of that dream was that extraterrestrials were coming to Earth. Everything on the world was going to change, and human beings were going to become aware that there was this whole other civilizations out there, and that society was going to get bumped up, a huge level, and there was going to be a huge transformational awareness effect on the planet Earth. I've been interacting with these extraterrestrial beings of higher dimensions. All kinds of really intense, crazy things are happening. If I take the dream literally, I've come to the conclusion that when I have these kinds of dreams from my friends here, that you should pay attention to them. It's going to mean that something very huge is coming, that people will initially mistake as the second coming of Christ, which then it will become clear that it's not, that it's very likely of extraterrestrial origin. And I think maybe it might mean that open contact with ETs is coming. Our extraterrestrial cousins, because that's what they are, they're us. Since I've been interacting with these beings, I've been interacting with them on a daily basis. And what I have come to learn about them is that they are not just little green men that live on other planets that have more technology than us. That's not even close to what they are. They are souls, just like you're a soul inside of a body. They are a soul, and they primarily live on higher dimensions. They're actually us. And these beings have a very, very deep connection to, what we would call life after death. For them, there is no death. So when we die, from their perspective, the only thing that happens is our soul moves to a different dimension. And our soul interacts with them. And there's a lot of stories I haven't shared with the channel, but I've interacted with people who have passed in my life, who have been brought to me by these higher dimensional beings. They have said, so-and-so wants to talk to you. And they will literally create the scenario like an angel. So we would, if we didn't know any better, we would think these were angels. These beings actually do have a strong connection with what we perceive to be life after death, which for them is not life after death. It's just life moving into other expressions. People reincarnate. They have a strong connection to helping us choose our next destination. And there are many people, you are a human soul and you have been these beings before. And, this is sometimes what happens in between incarnations. You will be one of these higher dimensional beings, and you will be very involved in people's interaction with their life and their lessons in three-dimensional reality. And so my interpretation of what I think this means is that very soon there is going to be some kind of major global event that will, again, at first be misinterpreted as the second coming of Christ. And then what will happen is people will sort of wake up to what is really going on, which is that the earth has moved up to the next level of being. The earth herself might move into a more higher dimensional frequency. Right after I have the lucid dream where I see the Jesus on a crucifix coming out of the clouds, and everybody thinks that it's the second coming of Jesus, and then Jesus looks up and sees something in the sky coming, and it becomes clear that the meaning of the dream is that something worldwide, a global event is going to happen that everybody's going to see in the sky. They're going to think it's the second coming of Jesus, and then they're going to realize it's something else. After having that dream, I didn't know what it meant. I thought, okay, so probably fleets of alien spaceships are going to descend on planet Earth. But I wasn't sure. So the next time that I met with my ET guides, I asked them, I said, so what is this worldwide global transition event going to be? Are there going to be fleets of alien spaceships that are going to be landing on planet Earth? And they said, no, there's going to be a solar wave which will hit the Earth and penetrate the Earth with waves of high vibrational energy and love, and all beings, including animals, are going to shift up to the next level of awareness. And then I shared it on a live stream that night, and I shared exactly what I just shared with you. And I said, I don't know, that just sounds so unbelievable to me. And somebody in the live stream said, no, that's a real thing, the solar flash, or the event. And apparently people have been talking about it since 2012. And my ET friends were telling me, and have continued to tell me, that very soon there's going to be a large, massive, instantaneous solar wave that will hit the Earth, and the Earth will shift up to what we refer to as 5D. Yes, I survived Hurricane Ian, and my ET friends actually showed up and were incredibly supportive and let me know that they were with me not only on a psychic level but on a physical level. I went because I had no power and I had no idea what was going on. I had no way of monitoring the storm, so I was going to turn on my ham radio and then change it over to the FM radio and look around for radio stations to see what was going on. And when I turned it on, the radio immediately started blasting and making a ton of noise, And this had already been going on for about a minute, and then I decided to video it. These are my friends letting me know that they're with me. I've been very worried and depressed. The storm is horrible. And I turned on my radio. And so my ET friends are letting me know that they're with me. Overwhelming show of support. Extra terrestrials are coming to Earth. Why are they here? What do they want from you? New book available now on Amazon in paperback and Kindle. Extra Terrestrials Are Coming to Earth by Michael William Denney. You've heard all the stories about ETs, aliens, and interdimensional beings of light, but you don't know if any of the stories are true. What if you could talk with an ET yourself and find out? You can. I communicate with ETs every day. What these beings of light have shown me about the true nature of reality has freed me from the bondage of 3D. You are much more powerful than you realize, and everything is about to change.